Hello and welcome. I'm Anne Nwawado. Tonight, fuel tank explosion kills 3, injures 8, with several shops and property burnt at Diko Junction along Abuja-Kaduna Highway in Niger State. Southeast Governors Forum restricts movement of herdsmen carrying arms across all states in the region as they discuss critical security issues in Enugu State. Lagos police release 121 occupants of a truck from Jigawa intercepted in Lagos, clears them of any criminal intentions. And Hong Kong demonstrators defy ban on protest as police disperse them with tear gas, rubber bullets and water cannons.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's stock market value drops by 116 billion naira within the month of August as investors seek catalysts to lift sentiment.
On sports news tonight, despite putting up a valiant effort, Nigeria's D-Tigers lose to Russia in their opening game at the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Once again, welcome. We begin the news at 10 tonight on a very sad note from Niger State. The death toll from a tank explosion at Diko Junction along Abuja-Kaduna Highway has now risen to 3. At least 8 other persons sustained various degrees of injuries, with over 35 shops burnt. The incident, which occurred at about 10 p.m. on Friday, lasted until 4 a.m. on Saturday. Our correspondent Emperor Simon reports.
Burnt cars, shops razed, foodstuff destroyed. All aftermath of the tanker explosion that claimed 3 lives, leaving 8 others injured.
From what we have gathered, so far the death toll have risen to 3. 8 people are currently in critical condition. Then about 19 vehicles are involved. So far, 35 shops have been identified, and the assessment is ongoing.
Immediately it happened, we were informed, and we turned out, and we did our best. Yes, we had a reinforcement from Federal Fire Service. We called them and they came, and they assisted us, and we did our best.
The accident is said to have occurred after the tanker driver attempted to park by the roadside, even though he was warned not to do so.
As government, we will not take it again. We'll do whatever is necessary to ensure that the regulatory agencies do their job. This, as far as concerned, is a motor park. It's illegal, because there is no licensing for it to operate. Most of these makeshift shops are also illegal, and the mechanics you see operating here are also illegal.
The victims are currently at a traditional medicine man's place after they complain of not being properly attended to at the hospital. For now, officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps say they're mapping up supports to enable them evacuate the vehicles from the scene of the accident.
It is a clarion call on the state and local governments to ensure enforcement of all the laws that will prevent recurrence of this accident. From Diko Junction in Niger State, Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, in another part of Niger State, emergency officials today confirmed the death of 3 persons in a boat accident on River Kaduna. The public relations officer of the Niger State Emergency Management, Mr. Ibrahim Audu, says a man and his 2 children from Edati local government areas lost their lives in that accident. It's the latest boat mishap in the state. Earlier this month, more than 15 people were reported to have been killed on River Malale in Borogu local government area of the state. And from Niger State, let's move to Adamawa State, where victims of the recent flood disaster that hit major parts of the state capital, Yola, have been speaking on their predicament. More than 5 local government areas were affected with flash floods. 13 people lost their lives, while several others have been declared displaced. The federal government has since sent a delegation from the National Emergency Management Agency for an assessment, but the victims say they no longer want a temporary solution, but an end to the problem.
The telltale signs of the recent flood in some communities in Adamawa are still visible, with 13 persons dead and thousands displaced. Life is just what exists here on this property in Bachire area of Yola, the state capital. Some of the victims lament that the provision of relief materials to affected individuals is now a yearly tradition, but what they seek is infrastructure to channel the water away.
People that their house still remains small, they will go back and sleep. They will go to bush and find vegetable. We don't have food. We find vegetable. We even go to do barema to feed our children. And most of all, we don't have anything doing. Rain, this water enter my house four times now. So, more especially the last one that happened, it happens in the night when we were sleeping. What we need from government is that they should try and help us to make that road for us so that we will get ourselves better.
To assess the level of destruction left by the floods, the Acting Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Air Commodore Akube Iyamu, is in the state, with the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, Crowther Sent, showing him around. He says the federal government will assist the affected persons immediately, but appeals to people living in flood-prone areas to relocate for safety.
When you build on the waterway, what you have done is you have constricted the water, and it's going to rise. It's going to rise significantly and going to reach its trigger point very early. Unlike when you allow it to flow its natural course. What they have done here now, they have constricted the water. So it will definitely be very violent. Yes. So the only thing we can do is sensitization. All over the world, you don't have a permanent solution to it. As they come, they give you the challenge, and you respond accordingly.
We are very grateful to the federal government because they heed to our plead. Actually, they came promptly to come and see things by themselves and go back and report to their headquarters.
Flooding, which is becoming a serious challenge in Adamawa State, has been attributed to a combination of two factors: very heavy local rainfall and the release of excess water from the Lagdo Dam in nearby Cameroon.
Meanwhile, residents of Ado, the capital of Akita State, are also counting their losses after heavy rain sacked them from their homes, causing the popular Elemi River to overflow its bank. The recent experience leaves some houses partly submerged, with water hindering human and vehicular traffic in the area. The residents have been lamenting the unpleasant experiences caused by the flood.
There was a downpour since yesterday, so as we woke up this morning, there was not water here. I can't find any water, but all of a sudden, the water is just flowing. In fact, it left a lot of people. A lot of people are crying.
This flood is too terrible, so we plead to our government to please our rivers, they should help us. Our cement inside the water, both our cars, our everything. So we don't have anything now.
Moving to other stories now, governors of Southeast states today agreed to set up a joint tier operation. This is to help flush out bandits in all forests in the region and restrain movement of herdsmen who move around with guns and other dangerous weapons. This decision was reached at the end of the meeting today in Enugu, where the chairman of the forum and the governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. Dave Umahi, said a committee will write to meet with the president and service chiefs to discuss the rising security tension in the region. They have also expressed satisfaction on the rehabilitation work going on at the Akano ABM International Airport in Enugu.
Governors and deputy governors of the Southeast arrived at the Enugu State Government House for their second regional meeting to deliberate on issues of common interest for the region. Present at the meeting are the chairman of the forum and Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, governors of Anambra, Imo, Deputy Governor of Abia, Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika, and State Security Chiefs. Top on the agenda for the forum are the issues of the recently closed Akano-Ibiam International Airport, the state of federal roads in the region, and security challenges. After a 4-hour closed-door meeting, Governor David Umahi briefs journalists.
Joint air operation to flush out bandits from all forests in the southeast and to make it a continuous one. We also agree that we have to put measures in place to restrain movement of herdsmen and their cattle from one state to the other, which is a source and point of conflict with the natives and the farmers.
On the closure of the Akano-Ibiam International Airport, the leaders were impressed with the rehabilitation program assure residents of some palliative measures to reduce their pain.
The runway shall be reconstructed and extended, and the landing equipment shall be replaced with a better night landing light installation. And he has assured that the work will go on day and night, and it must be completed before December 2019.
I want to assure you that we will take it with all the seriousness that it deserves, and we should be able to deliver this project, all things being equal, before Christmas. We are conscious and aware of the hardships that you might go through, but I believe it is worth it in the interest of safety.
The leaders agreed to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari concerning the security challenges in the region as they set up a joint security committee that will partner security chiefs in the southeast to provide maximum safety of lives and property.
Now take a moment to watch this video. What you see on your screen right now, these are young men over 120 in number. They were apprehended yesterday by operatives of the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Agency Task Force at the Agege area of the state. The truck they boarded had been flagged as suspicious as it approached the Lagos toll gate, and they were trailed by the task force, who later handed them over to the police. But after profiling them, the police and Lagos have released the young men and allowed them to proceed to their various destinations. It emerged that the truck they had been riding was coming from Jigawa in the northwest. Well, according to the police authorities, the men have been profiled with a view to ascertaining who they are, where they come from, their background, and their mission in Lagos. They have been described as mostly artisans, commercial motorcyclists, and traders seeking greener pastures in Lagos. Officials of the Lagos State government say the truck was seized following a tip-off by members of the public who raised security concerns over the way the occupants conducted themselves.
While our men were on patrol, they intercepted this truck with nothing less than 123 people inside with 48 bikes. They told us they are coming from Jigawa State. Coincidentally, while they were on the operations, the Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Tunji Bello, equally called me that he had an information that some people entered into Lagos with nothing less than, they are even say over 300 people in the trailer. Probably they are trying to tag them as terrorists. They are the owners of the 48 bikes, while the other ones told us that they just came into Lagos looking for greener pastures. We are not saying we want to ban the Akita or other motorcycles in Lagos State. What we are saying is move to the inner streets. Aside this, you must register properly. With Lagos State government, you must have a pack. You must wear your helmet. You must not pick more than a passenger.
In part two, after the break, commuters count down to closure of Berger-Kara axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway with hopes that alternative routes will douse traffic tension. Please stay with us.